You want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money!
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reg.A Money Show. This is Ron Costa, live in the Reg.A studios in Las Vegas over the iHeartRadio network and others. And as usual, here with Miguel Dotris. Miguel, how you doing today?
Ron, I am better than I deserve. Let me tell you something. It is exciting to be a part of this show. It is exciting to be part of the Reg.A industry. You and I bringing all this information to all our listeners, and all our listeners out there appreciating the work that Miguel Dotris and Ron Costa are doing on a weekly basis, because we're hearing it from all over the place, Ron. All over the place. People are writing in, calling in, letting us know, guys, man, this is really doing something really great. Thanks for sharing all this information, guys. We really do appreciate it very, very much. I don't understand why, a listener has to be a stoner, but hey, that's not for me to say. We're just bringing the information, and I know that people are loving it, Ron, so it's just great. Another great day here in the Reg.A Money Studios, being brought to you by all these syndication platforms that you have gotten us into all over the place, Ron. So just exciting stuff, baby. Exciting.
Yes. And before we went on the show, Miguel, I just sent you an email on an article that I was reading the other day about how podcasts are taking over the marketing world. It was an article, I believe, in Entrepreneur magazine. And basically the article was saying how people nowadays are getting their news from podcasting versus anything else, because they're unsure of maybe the fake news or whatever you want to call it, or watching TV. Everything's going mobile, and more and more people are listening to podcasts, which is great for two things. Great for people like us who actually do the podcasting, and also great for people who are looking to advertise, because now you have a vehicle where your advertising dollars can actually go and actually return you something, instead of somebody who's just watching a TV show and flipping through the commercials. I'm sure you do that, right, Miguel? You do that.
Dude, I don't watch commercials, Ron. I DVR everything that I watch, so that way, my schedule is tight with the show and everything else that we got going on. My schedule is tight, so most of the stuff that I enjoy on the TV, sports events or my favorite shows, I DVR them, and you're absolutely right. Just cut right through the commercials. And let me tell you something else, Ron, while we're on the subject about advertising. You want to target advertising, in the Reg.A industry, what better platform or what better podcast could you possibly do than the Reg.A Money Show? Not only do we bring information in regards to how to do a Reg.A, okay, but we're also talking to professionals that help with Reg.As. We're talking about investors that are looking to get Reg.As, and then we're talking about our qualifiers and our contenders, right? We got all these guys that are coming here. We have a very, very specific audience, Ron. So, look, you want to advertise on our podcast? Bring it, baby. Bring it. Contact Ron. We're more than happy to get you on here. We got live reads that Ron and I do all the time. We got commercials that we can plug in between our segments. We'd love to have you. We'd love for you to be part of the show. Everybody wants to be part of the show. So come on up. Step up. We're right here for you.
Yeah, and if you'd like to, there's on our website, regamoney.com, there's a drop-down under the show link where you can fill out a form for advertising information, sponsorships. Fill that out, and we will get back to you, see about getting you on the show. But, Miguel, again, what people have to understand is that we bring Reg.A news to the forefront, all Reg.A news. It's not all great. It's not always amazing. Sometimes it's bad. For example, just last week, we found out about the moving the Reg.A limit from 50 million to 75 million. I believe that was struck down, and that's not good. That's not good. I don't know why they would strike something like that down, specifically because I get it, a regular IPO, a traditional one, we're talking hundreds of millions, right? Miguel, you've been involved in a number of those. Hundreds of millions. And the Reg.A, although when you talk about Reg.A, making $50 million raises, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. But in the big scheme of things, in the capital markets, $50 million really isn't a lot for a lot of these companies. So their reluctance to move it to 75, or at least to approve that, was a little surprising to me.
I think it was surprising to me too, Ron, but, I get it. We're in uncharted territory. These Reg A's are now, are coming out a little more frequently. And, and as some of our guests point out, like you said, Ron, the news is good, the news is bad. Right now it's a mixed bag. It's a really mixed bag. I mean, we tout this all the time because we understand the potential. We understand what this is all about, the true essence of the Reg A, okay? Now, the true essence doesn't always manifest itself, and that's what I think that's essentially what the SEC is saying. Because, Ron, if you think about it, let me put everybody at ease. All right, $50 million in a 12-month consecutive period. So if we broke it down, 12 months, $50 million. Okay, so approximately $4.5 million a month for a whole year. That does not mean, Ron, that you can't go out the following year and raise another $50 million. So the limit is per annual, right? 12-month period, okay, consecutive. But that doesn't limit the Reg A from doing the company, I should say, from doing another Reg A and reaching the maximum, because that's what this is all about. This is about the access to the capital markets. It's not about how much. It's not about what the stock price is. It's about companies being able to access the capital markets in a way that they have never been able to do before. Doesn't matter the size of the company. It doesn't matter the size of the balance sheet. None of that stuff matters. All that matters is that the company has a viable business plan and that it can raise money. That's it, Ron. And that's what the people, a lot of people are looking at this information and say, SEC's worried about Reg A. No. The SEC is not worried about Reg A. The SEC is making things possible for Reg A. They're just saying, look, guys, we've already given them $50 million in a 12-month period. If the people are savvy enough and the businesses are savvy enough, enough with government regulation. Let the businesses raise money. Let them raise $50 million in a year. Let's see what, hey, Ron, when's the last time that Darren Marble came onto the show? Remember, he was talking about the hybrid offering and how, this year is going to be the year that somebody's going to reach the maximum. Nobody has even touched the maximum yet. Nobody has even sniffed the $50 million mark. I don't even think anybody's gotten above the $30 million mark. So, Ron, we got some room to grow. So I'm not really worried about it that much. Yeah, it's concerning, but it's not that concerning in the sense of, look, it's business as usual. The door continues to be open. The opportunity continues to be there.
Yeah, that's true. And, getting back to our last podcast when we started talking about how to get the seed financing to get your Reg A project moving forward, I think, Miguel, you really touched the nerve on that, because we've got a lot of people contacting us about that to go more into detail, especially when you mentioned at the very end of that about, I believe it was term sheets and how to get those things going. We have I believe we have a listener question on that. And I don't know if should we do the question right now, or should we go to break and kind of take it for the second half? What do you think?
No, I think I like to read the question and then go on the break, Ron, so that way everybody has an opportunity, to kind of sit down and put their earphones on, or kind of sit at the computer, turn up the volume a little bit, because everybody's going to want to listen and everybody's going to want to tune into this thing on the second half of the podcast, because it's just starting to get good, Ron. It's just starting to get good right now. And the thing that surprises me, and you're absolutely right, Ron, it's certain things that we talk about on this show of ours that people really gravitate to. There's certain things that people say, man, that really changed the way I thought about something, or man, I didn't even know about that, and then that's what this is all about, Ron. So the question, there's a lot of good questions, as you said, but the one that we want to kind of feature on today's show comes from Mark, okay, Mark H. Mark H. is in North Dakota. Okay, North Dakota. All right. So we're all over the place. North Dakota. Mark's question is, I'll just kind of read it off just so that you know. Hey, Ron and Miguel, big fan of the show. We enjoy what you guys are doing very much, bringing this information for entrepreneurs, being able to access markets. Our company's question is, we have started our startup stage. We have a great company, and we're looking to do exactly what you talked about in your last show in regards to our seed money. Our question is around our term sheet. We were looking to see what terms you find most favorable in term sheets for investors, specifically with startups. We don't have a real big company. We make less than $1 million a year, so we really like to be able to pose this to some really close friends and maybe even relatives to get us going in the direction of a Reg.A. Mark, this is a great question. Very great question, man. First of all, congratulations on your success. Making just under $1 million in sales, that's not a small feat, my friend. So first of all, I congratulate you to getting that far. It sounds like you guys are doing a good job over there, and your question is a good one. And I'd like to get into it on the second half of our podcast and our show here on the Reg.A Money Show with Ron Costa and me, Miguel Dotres. We're going to cover this question thoroughly. But Ron, I want to say one thing before we go to break, and this is very important. I hope you guys are listening. All right, Ron and I are not attorneys. The information that you get here on the Reg.A Money Show is not legal advice. I want to let you guys know that what Ron and I do is give you from the heart in an entertaining fashion the most updated information that we have that has to do with Reg.A and the Reg.A industry. We are not, and I repeat, we are not attorneys. We are not giving anyone that is listening to this podcast legal advice. The very first thing that if you've been listening to us for any given period of time, you understand we always say to you guys, aces in their places. You have to have the legal team behind you. You have to have your aces in their places. Everything that we say to you on this show is for entertainment purposes only. It comes from the heart, and it comes from the vast knowledge and information and experiences that Ron and I have accumulated over the last 15 years. So I don't want you to take any of the stuff that I say to you as legal advice. I want you to take it as you're sitting down with one of your buddies who has a little bit more experience, or maybe even a mentor if you want to think of it that way, and you said to your mentor, hey, what do you think I should do about this, and what do you think I should do about that? And that's as far as you take it, because I would expect all of you to take everything that we talk about and take it to your attorney and take it to your SEC counsel, and you have the upper hand because you know that they're not bullshitting you, because you've heard it from me, Miguel Dotres, and Ron Costa here on the Reg.A Money Show.
Yeah, Miguel, I hope there's some coffee in the pot after this because I'm going to need it for the second half of this show. That was a good segue into the second half. So, folks, hang in there. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back at you for the second part of our Reg.A Money Show just a minute.